presented by the iHelp Loan Program from SLFC.
During today's game, we're going to give you the tools to help you find your college, scholarships, and grants that you can have just for applying.
Enjoy the game, and we'll see you later on to put your game plan.
Sir, debris heading towards our comm satellite. Impact may cut off communications with ground forces.
Launch avoidance maneuver. "20 kilometers in closing."
Collision averted, sir. All objects are accounted for.
Good job.
Learn more at airforce.com.
Rival, a person or thing that is in position to dispute another's preeminence or superiority. Assume the position. 48 classic matchups nationwide. The biggest moments under the brightest lights. Hardcore great American football the way it was meant to be. In the stands and on the fields. Be a part of the action when the greatest show in high school sports comes to a town near you. The Great American Rivalry Series. From iHigh, who's your rival?
Tonight from Louisville, Kentucky, it's the Great American Rivalry Series. It's Male and Manual. Gary Ball live here tonight. Male and Manual, the oldest rivalry in the state of Kentucky here on the Great American Rivalry Series. Rick Ford, the CEO and the inventor of this rivalry series with me. And Rick, it all got started right here out of this Male Manual.
Wow, it certainly did. The Male Manual game going on since 1893. They've been at it for 118 years, and tonight they're going to wrap it up again.
You're a big part of this. You played at Manual. You played in one of these. Tell us one of your fondest memories of this Male Manual rivalry.
Well, you know, the fond memories are the victories, and we had that in our senior year. We went in there as a two-touchdown underdog and came out of the game 20-6 on top. So it was a great time, and we had a guy, we talked about it today at lunch, who had 13 tackles in that game. So we named him Most Valuable Player today.
He deserved it, didn't he?
He sure did. He sure did.
There'll be a huge crowd here tonight, as Rick said, the oldest rivalry in the state of Kentucky. And Christy Thomas, who's our sideline reporter, told me coming down, it's the oldest rivalry in the country west of the Alleghenies.
Absolutely. It's been around so long, and so many good players have played in it. And, you know, that really is how we got this thing started. We thought, you know, there's a Male and Manual game that's going on. There's got to be others like that around the country. And sure enough, they are all over the country. We've had over 300 of them come to us this year as nominations. We're doing 78 events this year, and it has been fantastic. Coast to coast, border to border.
You know, tonight in this Male Manual game, obviously a lot of great athletes, and you played with a lot of great athletes when you played in this game. But when you think about Male and Manual, I mean, you think about Michael Bush, you think about Doug Beaumont, and then on the Manual side, Keenan Burton, guys like that. There are just some great athletes that have come out of these two schools.
There absolutely is, and I think that's just born of good football. You have to really follow that rivalry back, and you'll see other big names in there. You'll see names like Wilbur Hackett and Sherman Lewis and those kind of guys who played at this in this event. And I tell you what, they love their football. They play it hard, they play it long, and they play it well. But tonight, they put it all out there.
They put it all out there. They put it out there. Not only that, they're going to have great weather to put it out there. We got just a beautiful night for high school football. It feels like fall out here.
It does. You know, it feels like somebody just painted the picture exactly the way it ought to be for this game. There shouldn't be a weather factor. There shouldn't be anything but football between these two teams because it means so much to both. And somebody's going to walk out of here with that barrel tonight.
And that barrel was at Male last year. Of course, Manual wants that barrel back.
Oh, in the worst way. I think they thought they were going to get a three-peat last year, and they got surprised in a pouring downpour. But I've talked to the Manual team today, and I think they're pretty fired up about it tonight.
Rick, where do we go from here with the Great American Rivalry Series?
Well, we go to one of the biggest ones, another big one up in Ohio, Massillon versus McKinley tomorrow, actually. I think you're going to be making that trip up there as well. And we're going to see two Ohio teams really go at it. And you want to talk about big time, 18,000 fans, there won't be a seat in the house.
We're expecting about 7,000 or 8,000 here is the latest prognostication we've heard on the enrollment here for this game, and I think we're going to reach that tonight.
Oh, I think you're going to sell it out. I think there's a lot of buzz about these two teams. They're both heading into district play. This game does have meaning for them, and certainly when you have teams that have a history like this and then you're going into some postseason play, you're going to see the fans come out and see it.
You know, Rick, when we come back, we're going to hear from the Manual side. We got a former male player, so we're going to hear all angles of this game, and looking forward to working with Buzz Frank and going to do color with us tonight. I'm just really excited, about high school football, and it doesn't get any better, Mail and Manual.
It doesn't, and I'll tell you, we found this everywhere. It's all over the country, but there are none better than the game you'll see tonight.
It's Mail and Manual coming up on the Great American Rivalry Series presented by SLFC. Is that right, Rick?
SLFC, the Student Loan Finance Corporation out of Aberdeen, South Dakota.
Student Loan Finance Corporation. Thanks to those folks as well. It's Mail and Manual coming up. We'll be back with more interviews and the pregame after this. And welcome back here to the Great American Rivalry Series. Gary Ball, we're joined now. And it's Coach, you said Hag, real?
Hag, correct.
And you coached at Manual back in the 80s. And Coach, 13 wins. Boy, how did you turn it around so quick?
Well, it took us 4 years. We started off with a team that had 32 players, and 19 of those were freshmen. And then we came back up the fourth year, and just because the kids have been around so long, that we went ahead and had a really good season. So,
Coach Hag, what's your fondest memory of this Manual-Male rivalry?
The second time we played Mayo in '88, we were playing for the regional championship. We'd beat them 2 weeks before, and Mick Motley was our offensive coordinator at the time, was getting married that day. So basically he left at halftime. And luckily he did such a great job that our quarterback was able to call the game by himself the rest of the game, and we ended up beating them in overtime 28-21.
Buzz Frank is with me tonight on Color. And Buzz, I know you've got some questions for Coach as well.
Yeah, Coach, that 88 season, the game prior to that, the first Mayo game, both teams were undefeated, and that had to be a huge thrill to go into that game with both teams undefeated.
Yeah, absolutely. We were all anticipating this 88 team to come along because we knew we'd be good and we knew they'd be good, and it was covered by ESPN. It was a really big game, and it turned out in our favor, 28-0. So that was a great memory too.
And what players? I mean, there's just been some tremendous players come out of this rivalry. Tell us about some of those young men. I know there's a ton of them, but Rick Ford and I already talked about Beaumont out of and Bush out of Mail and Keenan Burton from Mail. I mean, there's just been some tremendous athletes in this game.
Well, one of them you have is Sherman Lewis. Obviously, he was an All-American, went up to Michigan State, and obviously an NFL fame. And then a guy named Steve Smith, who was a leading rusher up in Michigan State. He was an excellent player. And we had a young man, Travis Prentice, who graduated with my older son, and he ended up going to Miami of Ohio and broke Ricky Williams' touchdown records. So, we've had quite a few of them that are really big players, obviously.
Coach, what do you think makes this such an intense rivalry? I mean, I know it's dated, it's over 100 years, but what makes it such an intense rivalry?
Oh, I think that's exactly where it all starts. The longer the rivalry starts, you get certain type of activities, whether it's painting somebody else's school or egging somebody's house over the years, and then you have one generation after another generation, and they all feed into it, and they all know each other, so they're on each other's face all the time. So it's like any other rivalry, it's bragging rights, and so I think that's probably all part about it. It's just a domestic situation that they all thrive on.
Coach, what do you think about the game tonight? How do you think it's going to turn out?
I'm thinking right now this will be should be a typical hard-nosed, hard-hitting game. It should be well worthwhile looking at. There was a little controversy left over from last year with an illegal play, and I think our kids, I know, will remember that. And I think their kids, they're 7-2, and they want to keep the barrel, and we want to get the barrel back. So I think you're going to see some hard hit, and I think it's going to be a very interesting game, to say the least.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Keep up the good work. I know, is that a relative you have playing now?
That's actually our youngest son. We have him from 34 to 17, and 2 girls in between, and they all went to Manual, and so Tim is the starting center. So, this is the last hurrah for kids coming through anyway, at least we hope.
Well, you got a lot at stake tonight then.
A whole lot, yeah. We're looking forward to it, and this is a typical family activity. All his brothers and sisters will be here, and the grandkids will be here, and it's going to be a good one. So,
thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate
Coach Hag from former coach at Manual. We'll come back with Christy Thomas, and we'll talk to one of the alumni from Mayo High School, Kevin Wigington, get his thoughts on this game. We'll be back on the Great American Rivalry Series. And back on the Great American Rivalry Series here tonight with the oldest rivalry in the state of Kentucky. It's Manuel Male, Gary Ball, Christy Thomas with us, our sideline reporter, and Kevin Wigington with us, who's a part of this game with Male. We got the Manuel version. Now we want to get the Male version. Tell us some of the fondest memories you have from your Manuel Male rivalry.
Well, I'm glad you're getting the real version of the Male Manuel game. My fondest memories are really of watching my cousins play at Manuel High School. I was the first of my cousins to go to Male. And so, within the family, it's been a great rivalry. My fondest memory is us winning, meaning us, the 83 year, of us winning the Borough back from Manual. We hadn't won the Borough probably in 8 or 9 years from Manual, so that was the first year we had won the Borough, and really the resurgence of a Male High football program.
Christy Thomas with us. I know, Christy, you have probably something to discuss with Kevin as well.
Well, we were talking a little bit before we came on the air, and you're talking to me about this rivalry and what this means. Just tell the folks a little bit about how huge this really is and what this means to you as a Male alumni.
For me, this rivalry is it. Trinity St. X is a great rivalry, but this is it for the state of Kentucky and actually for the nation. The last game that was played on Thanksgiving was my freshman year. And my freshman year, I played every game except the first game and the last game because that was tradition. If you were a freshman, you weren't going to step foot on the field during the Male Manual game just because it was that special. And it's still very special to me. Still very special to anyone who has played in this game. It's a great rivalry, but a lot of friendships are developed out of this. I'm friends with a lot of guys I played against at Manual, and we still keep in touch. So it really is bigger than the game itself. It's something that will always be special to me.
Kevin, I know the barrel's at stake, but take us back to your senior year at Male High School. What's the week like getting ready for the Male Manual rivalry game?
It's definitely mayhem at its best. I mean, you do a lot of different things. They have a Male Manual Powder Puff game. With the juniors and seniors, we used to do student exchanges, and I was a part of a student exchange. I went and spent the whole day at Manual, went to some classes, and got to pick with people about the Male Manual game. And then, of course, that day of the game, if you win the game and the Burrow's at the other place, the seniors get to actually go to the school, pick the Burrow up, and bring it back, and have a big pep rally. So that's a real big thing because the seniors on Manual's team had to come back with us and present the Burrow to us. So that's a huge thing. I mean, it gets no better than that. It's no better than that.
It's Manuel Male and Christy. He was talking about bringing the barrel back, and that's what they're playing for. And Male remembers that controversy. There was a little bit of controversy last year. So we got, Kevin says we got the true version of that.
Oh, well, a lot of controversy, number one, but it was a muddy, sloppy, nasty game, which would actually be okay for tonight's game because we expect to see a lot of speed on the field. So a lot of the running backs are going to be a big focus. But that's something that, is no surprise for Male. Always athletes, always speed, always, so this is something that you guys are used to at Male.
We're used to it. I mean, both schools have a list of athletes. I mean, probably thousands of guys that have either had their jerseys retired or in the Hall of Fame in both schools. Right. It's a heck of a rivalry.
Kevin, as Christy was saying, but tell us, your take. Who's going to win this game? Male Manual, okay? You be straight up about it.
I've been on Facebook, Twitter, and everything. Male, about 14.
Okay.
Make a prediction. Male about 14.
Well, we appreciate it, and thanks for joining us, and thanks for everything you did at Male High School.
Thank you.
Kevin Wigington giving us our Male angle here. We'll come back with more. You're watching the Great American Rivalry Series, the oldest rivalry in the state. It's Male and Manual doing battle here tonight at Male Stadium. We'll be back after this. And welcome back to the Great American Rivalry Series. Gary Ball, Buzz Frank, and Coach Jim Jordan joins us here now on the pregame. And Coach, you coached here for 7 years. Last time was about 18 years ago, and boy, it doesn't get any better in Mayo Manual, does it?
No, sir. It's a wonderful, wonderful rivalry. I get goosebumps every time I think about it.
Last time you coached was 92, 93, about in there, but
Yeah.
you were head coach for 7 years. And Coach, tell us what makes this such a special football game.
I guess because it's been around forever. And it's special to me because my whole family was Mayo graduates, myself included. And it was just, back in the day, we used to play this thing on Thanksgiving Day. And our family dinner was revolved around when we were going to the ball game.
I can imagine what some of those Thanksgiving feasts would have liked at the Jordan household. But Jim, Manual, two good football teams this year. Manual's record not indicative of how good they are, and Mayo has been outstanding all year. I know they lost a tough game to a Dayton Dunbar team, but only 2 losses for Mayo, and Manual much better than their record. They played a brutal schedule.
They certainly have, especially the out-of-state teams. They've played a really tough schedule, and like I say, I don't know exactly what to expect from them because when you look at the record, you sort of go ho-ha, but they always seem to rise to the occasion on this night.
Who were some of the games, maybe some of the players that you could tell the folks watching this game that really stand out in your mind, maybe that you coached at Mayo?
Well, the worst one was one year Manual ended up being the runner-up in the state, and the Mayo Manual game was done on ESPN, and we got our tails kicked. But we met them again later on in the playoffs, and it was a better ball game, but they got us again. But that's one that sticks in my mind all the time. That's the only one. It's the only one we lost.
I don't think we have any question or concern with who you'll be pulling for tonight.
Absolutely not. It's going to be purple all the way.
Well, thank you, Jim. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Jim Jordan, former coach at Mayo High School. We'll be back with more in the Great American Rivalry Series presented by the Student Loan Finance Corporation. We'll be back to Mayo High School after this.
Say that over.
We're out of Indianapolis.
So what?
And tonight's Great American Rivalry Series game of the week on the GreatAmericanRivalrySeries.com is powered by iHigh.com and presented by the Student Loan Finance Corporation. Getting an education just got easier. Visit iHelp.edu to get money for college and find a career. Gary Ball with Buzz Frank, Christy Thomas on the sidelines, and boy, you saw the great hype there on the game. Manual Mail, and of course, Buzz, you're a big part of this game. You played in this game at Manual, so you know what a football game, and it should be an outstanding game here tonight. I don't think Manual's record there we're looking at on screen 4 and 5 really tells you how good the Manual Crimson are. They're a fine football team, even though the record doesn't tell you that.
They are a fine football team. They've played some of the best teams. Actually, some people have said that Manual's schedule this year may be the toughest in the state of Kentucky. Played a number of state champions in Highlands and Trinity, as well as their district games with St. X and Pleasure Ridge Park and Butler.
Kind of a homecoming there for Coach Dr. Oliver Lucas, speaking of Highlands, because he played them a couple of years ago in a playoff game with Bryan Station, went up there and almost knocked them off, lost in the last seconds, and went up there, as you said, and played Highlands, opening up the season. So strength of schedule, you got to go with Manual, although Mail's played a pretty tough schedule as well.
Mail's played a pretty tough schedule as well. When you look at football around Jefferson County, it's really the hotbed of football in the state as far as the 6A schools go, and Mail's played their fair share of tough teams, including going up to Ohio and playing a team up there in Dayton-Dunbar.
Right, Dunbar, an outstanding football team. It's going to be in the playoffs up there. A really good Dayton-Dunbar football team. And as we said, we are at Mail High School. It's Manual Mail. The stadium seats, I understand, Buzz, around 6,000, but they're expecting a few more than that in here tonight.
There will be more, and you'll never get a true count, Gary, because there will be a lot of fans on the track walking around. Right. They're constantly moving, but the stands will be full, I'll guarantee you.
Great American Rivalry Series. Glad to be here, of course, as always. And we have some special special presentation coming up here in this pregame because that's something near and dear to me, Buzz. That's the kids that are scholar athletes. You know, we got the pregame scholarship presentations coming up from both football teams. We'll get to that here in a couple of moments. But Manual will have one representative, as will Male, and I like that because I do a TV show in Lexington. You don't know because they don't get it here in Louisville, but it's a Scholastic Ball Report. Been doing it for 8 years, and the thing we really highlight on our show is academics. To be an athlete of the week, you have to have at least a 3.5 GPA or above, and believe me, there's a lot of kids out there that have more than that.
And that really is important. And both of these schools actually have good scholastic records as well as athletic records. So these players on these teams will put it all out there athletically, but they are extremely smart as well.
They really are. DuPont Manual put their academics up against anybody. I mean, anybody in the state. I mean,
That's
you look
right.
at their average ACT score, it's like a 24, 25. That will not only compare statewide, that'll compare on a national level for DuPont Manual. And Male, no slouch either. Outstanding academics, as you said, both institutions, DuPont Manual and Louisville Male.
And it's just a great thing that's goes back to 1893 with the rivalry, and it's even better when you think of how athletic and how smart these kids are that are playing.
Well, the barrel's at stake tonight. We saw the barrel down on the field, and that's what they're playing for. And a little controversy in last year's game. Do we really want to talk about it, Buzz?
Well, we can bring it up. There was last year's game, weather conditions a lot different than they are tonight. It was muddy, and there was a play that some people would call a bummerooski, others a fumblerooski, but whatever. It put Male over the top, and they went on to win that game and took the barrel back.
Took the barrel back. And, you know, you look at Male, they're coached by Chris Wolf. Bob Redmond, of course, was an institution over here. Coach
Absolutely.
Redmond, he had his son Chris several years ago that went on to play for Louisville and then in the NFL.
Right.
So great teams at Male. Manual, coached by a longtime coach, Joe Nichols, a good friend of mine, and did a great job, and he's moved on now. But tell us what you think as far as the coaching staffs now. You got Coach Dr. Oliver Lucas at Manual, the team you're familiar with, and Chris Wolf at Male.
Well, the interesting thing is some of the fans are going to wonder, did the team switch jerseys? Because under Coach Nichols, Manual ran the wing tee offense for all the years that Coach Nichols was there. Now that Dr. Lucas has come in, Manual operates more from a West Coast offense and a spread, but the Bulldogs run the wing tee, and that's certainly different than from what Coach Redmond ran when he was here at Male.
Like night and day, isn't it?
It's absolutely different. So it's almost like the teams traded jerseys for this year's game.
But the thing about it is we're about ready to get to the scholarship winners here, but the thing about it is great running backs on both football teams.
Yes.
You know, Manual has DeMontre War, who's a junior. I think I'm saying that right?
That's correct.
And War, 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns. He's a stud, 400 yards against Central. And then Male has Ron J. Morris and John Giddens and Troy Denning. Those guys, all they've done is rush for almost 2,000 yards and something like 18 touchdowns. So you've got some great running backs in this game.
And not only that, but you mentioned the three runners for Male. They'd make a good 3/4 of a 4x400 relay team, too.
And now we get to our scholarship. Football fans, the Great American Rival Series would like to take a moment to honor the top scholar athletes from each school as part of the series. United States Air Force will be presenting each player with a $500 college scholarship in recognition of their academic achievement and athletic excellence. To highlight those athletes and that hard work both on and off the field, the Air Force is proud to honor the senior player holding the highest academic standing from each team. And from Manual High School, he is going to be Andrew Letford. Andrew is a 4-year member. You see him right there with his parents. He's a 4-year member of the varsity football team. He leads on the field and in the classroom. He's a 2-time first-team All-Academic All-State after high school. He plans to attend college and major in psychology. I probably need a little work from him myself. He's escorted by his parents, Susan and Chris, presenting the award as Air Force. Congratulations to Andrew Letford. He's your winner from Manual High School, the scholarship athlete winner there from Manual. What an honor there for that young man.
It certainly is, and I know he's a tremendous football player and obviously good in the classroom as well.
And from Male High School, it's going to be Jonathan Barth. He's a 4-year varsity football player, member of the National Honor Society, Latin Honor Society, Beta Club, FCA, the math team, co-editor-in-chief, and a Kentucky Governor Scholar. Jonathan plans to pursue a major in mathematical economics. Probably use him a little bit as well.
Exactly,
we
I
talked
think
about the
so.
psychology from Andrew. We probably need some mathematics from Jonathan, too. Andrew is escorted by his parents, Carol and Paul. Presenting the award is the Air Force. Congratulations to those young men for that great honor right there from, of course, the Air Force here on the Great American Rivalry Series. Our scholar athlete winners here. Manual Male doing battle here tonight. Gary Ball with Buzz Frank, Christy Thomas. Boy, we're just glad to have Christy on the sideline tonight.
She's a great asset to have down there.
She'll be down there tonight doing some great sideline interviews and giving us kind of the breadth and the magnitude of this big rivalry game between Manual and Male. Yale. You look at Manual, they're coached by Dr. Oliver Lucas. He's a longtime football coach. He coached at Bryan Station in Lexington for 4 years. He took them to a new level there, 9 wins last year. Kind of brought them out of the brink of really mediocrity there at Bryan Station there in Lexington. Male coached by Chris Wolf. And Coach Wolf, he was out of coaching for a little while.
Yep. He had coached at Pleasure Ridge Park and did a nice job at Pleasure Ridge Park, and then went into something else and actually was out of coaching, as you said, Gary, altogether. But the male job opened up, and he took the opportunity to get back into coaching, and he's done an excellent job.
You know, we mentioned that barrel, and Christy Thomas was telling us about it down there. She did a lot of research. That's the thing about Christy. She does great research when she's getting ready for her work on any game. She's a professional, and she said that she thought they might have stalled the barrel for a while. But, 1939? Is that how long back the barrel?
1938 it goes
38.
back.
I missed a year, sorry.
Well, that's all right.
That's a long time.
Being older than you, I can remember those things.
You know, looking forward to this game and the barrel, something as we get a good look at it there. A great shot by the Great American Rivalry Series guys here. All the folks out in the truck. And that's what's at stake here tonight. And you know all too well what that means to bring that back to your high school, either male or manual.
Absolutely, and it has changed a little bit. In years past, the visiting team had to show up on Monday after the game and deliver the barrel, or not the visiting team, but the losing team had to deliver the barrel to the winners. But in recent years, they've just exchanged it at midfield after the game.
Tonight, the Manual team comes in with a 4-5 record, male 7-2. And you look at Manual, boy, they're coming off a really good defensive game, though, against Butler last week, shutting down Butler. So if that defensive unit shows up tonight for Manual, I think it'll be tough on Male. But Male, obviously, with just a stable of running backs back there that Manual's got to be concerned about.
And with the wing tee that they run, that's a running offense that's used to set up the pass. And interestingly, all of their running backs can catch the ball out of the backfield.
That's key. And, you look at Ian Wooldridge. He's an intelligent young man, the quarterback for Manual. His father is the principal at the school. So Ian's an intelligent young guy. He's a senior. He's a 6-foot senior, and he's got some good receivers too. Quintez Sutton and Darnell Gardner, who, by the way, tonight will have to wear a different jersey because he had his number 25 shredded last week. I understand.
They just pretty much ripped it off of him. It took me back to the days of the old tearaway jerseys.
That's right. They just tore it off of him, didn't they? So he'll be in 16 tonight. But I tell you what, Sutton and Gardner and Grayson Zuber, the big tight end, 6'4", he's got some good weapons when Ian wants to throw the football, to throw the ball too.
And he actually earlier this season set what many believe is a Manual record for 5 touchdown passes in one game against Fern Creek.
Yeah, he comes in with 14 TD passes on the season to Ian Wooldridge, 1,200 yards, 80 of 169. So his number's a little bit more impressive. And something I don't think we talked about at all, but we got a brand new quarterback starting tonight for Louisville Male.
That's right.
He is a junior, Tyler Adams, 6'1", 175 pounds, making his first start in the Male Manual rivalry.
Yeah, you got to believe Coach Jordan mentioned goosebumps in the pregame, and I'm sure that young Mr. Adams is having goosebumps as he's getting ready for his first start, because there's nothing bigger for a male or manual athlete to play into this football.
It's just a beautiful night for high school football here tonight at Male Stadium, and here at Louisville Male High School in Louisville, Kentucky, the Great American Rivalry Series. Tomorrow we'll be up in Ohio for the Massillon and Canton McKinley game. There'll be about 19,000 for that one, and you talk about some talent. My goodness, when I was preparing for that game, you got guys going to Ohio State, Michigan State, Pittsburgh team. I mean, there's just so many talented players in that game tomorrow. It'll be like a who's who in the future college ranks.
I was fortunate to meet some fellows from Colerain High School in Cincinnati, and what they corrected me on is Kentucky's a basketball state that plays football. Ohio's a football state.
I've covered both. I've covered Ohio football. I've covered, and he was a tight end linebacker, I think, was what he played. What'd you play, Buzz?
I played center and linebacker and a little bit of guard.
So you made sure the quarterback always was happy with the play and that everything went well.
I had to make sure he was very friendly with me.
Yeah, that's right. And who was your quarterback back in the day?
Gary Tatum back in the day when I played center was our quarterback, and Gary went on to big things with Goodyear.
Good job for Gary, and I like the first name too.
Yeah, there you go.
So you're working with another Gary tonight.
It seems like I'm always close to Gary's.
You snapped the ball to him back in the day, and now we're working together here on this broadcast. Looking forward to it here. As we said, we're going to be presented now by the national anthem by the Male High School Band here in just a moment here. at Mayo High School. There you see some of the young ladies here tonight in the crowd. The cheerleaders there, they're a big part of it as well. You know, many times you talk about rivalries and high school football, but, you know, Friday night, everybody that was in high school remembers those high school football games on Friday night, you know.
And I always think that Friday night is high school football night, and I always fuss when the University of Louisville plays one on a Friday night.
And now we will go to the national anthem being presented by the Mayo High School Band, and as Buzz said, award-winning high school band here at Louisville Mayo. They will take us to the national anthem.
It is a great effort to keep our country a free and safe place to live. Ladies and gentlemen, a moment of silence.
Very excited.
Last year the game was at that big stadium over at Manual, seats about 12,000, and it was kind of a quagmire over there, wasn't it? Just a mud bowl.
It was funny. Right before the game started, it looked like it was going to be a picturesque night, and by the end of the first quarter, you couldn't see numbers or anything because it had turned to a quagmire, as you said.
Well, we're not going to have that tonight. It's an absolute gorgeous night. You see some of the male players are getting ready for it. The crowd is into it. We're into it. It's going to be a great American Rivalry Series game here tonight. And, of course, we want to thank the Student Loan Finance Corporation for presenting this game tonight. Thanks to those folks as well here. Without them, they make it possible. And, of course, we already talked about the scholarship winners, and I just can't say enough how I think that is just a great addition here when you talk about the two scholarship winners that we already introduced for these football teams. Respectively, it was Andrew Ledford for Manual and Jonathan Barth for Mayo.
Yeah, and I was thinking as you were reading that were my daughter much younger and still in high school, those were the kind of young men that I would like her to go out with.
Absolutely.
Great athletes, great character, great students, and certainly what really high school athletics is all about.
What are the Manual football team, what are they doing right now, Buzz? What are they doing right now they just kind of getting themselves psyched up over there?
This is what they call the hit drill, and this is something that Dr. Lucas brought with him from Bryan Station, and this is to dedicate tonight's game to the parents and the past players of Manual High School, and so they call that their hit drill.
So they get ready, and the fans out there getting psyched up. There's a good-looking Manual. The male fans getting psyched up, ready for their Bulldogs to head out here and take on the Manual Crimson, the Mayo Bulldogs. A lot of tradition. I tell you, a lot of folks still remember that great game that Mayo played with Trinity when Michael Bush played at Mayo. They consider that possibly the greatest high school football game played in the state of Kentucky. It was a state championship game that went into couple of overtimes.
Yeah, and the final score, I believe, was 59-56.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
And how could you say anything different? Two tremendous athletes who've gone on to pro careers, playing quarterback at the time for their schools, Michael Bush and Brian Brom, and certainly that was a great male team that I just think they ran out of gas right at the end.
And a lot of people talk about Keenan Burton when he played at DuPont Manual, what a great receiver he was. And, of course, he's now playing with the Rams in the NFL. So a lot of great players have come out of this Manual Mayo game.
And as so often happens with great athletes like...
Will he play much over there?
You're going to see more of Andrew Ledford playing here, number 40, our scholar athlete on the defensive side of the football for the Crimsons.
Jacob Ulinski, the outstanding linebacker. The safety will be Trent Hafler. It'll be DeQuinn Drain, and Christopher Stein, I believe, is who Coach Lucas told me would be in the secondary as well.
And they'll run a lot of people in. Manual has juggled starting lineup, especially on the defensive side of the football all year.
Well, I know right off the bat we're going to see the kicker for Manual, and of course the punter, Pope, is outstanding.
He's been outstanding all year, and Manual can thank him for getting him out of a number of holes. In fact, he kicked about a 70-yard punt against St. X.
And who's been doing the kicking duties for Manual of late? I know they've been using Dunn. They've been using a couple of them.
Trent Dunn mostly has done most of the kicking, along with Matt Nelson, both of them seniors for Manual.
So Matt Nelson and Dunn, we'll wait and see. It looks like it teeing it up will be Manual. So receiving back deep for the Mayo Bulldogs will be Morris and Giddens. So right off the bat, we're going to see those two great returns.
Gary, I apologize, but I swear they said that Mayo was going to receive, but they're kicking off, and Manual's. So I've got you already confused.
Yeah, no, they did say Mayo was going to receive the football. See, the official was a little bit confused as well. Manual's going to receive it. So we'll turn the page here, and kicking off will be Jonathan Morrell for Mayo. He'll be kicking it off, and we'll set the offense for you for Manual when we get an opportunity. And dropping back deep for the Crimson,
Gardner and Minor.
Yeah, Gardner and Minor, and looks like to the near side,
Darnell Gardner.
Yeah, that's Gardner wearing 16 tonight. He's the young man we talked about had the jersey shredded off. And as you mentioned, Minor is to the far side. They're standing back at the 10 to receive this kick from Male. It will be Male kicking, so we'll set the offense for Manual right after this kickoff here coming from the Male Bulldogs. This Great American Rivalry Series getting set to get underway here tonight at Male High School. And kicking off will be Jonathan Morrell. So that young man's got to be juiced up as well. We'll see if he kicks it in the back of the end zone there.
You know, that would be the perfect thing. What a weapon in high school football to have a kicker who can put the ball into the end zone and force a team to start at the 20-yard line.
Well, we do know one man starting for Manual's offense, Tim Hogg, because we had his father on the pregame show.
Yeah, Tim Hagg, 6'2", 280-pound senior, and he's done an excellent job at center all year. And we did meet his dad at the
Coach Hagg and Alex was it Mulhall,
and
Colin Shoemate, Nathaniel Allen, Joshua Stearns, Grayson Zuber, the tight end. We'll check the running backs for you. We know the main one to worry about is DeMontre Ward. He'll touch it 25, 30 times. Jonathan Morrell has it teed up. As we said, back deep, Gardner and Minor. Here's the kick, and it will be Gardner. He'll take it at the 5. Gardner coming out to the 15, 20, and hit hard and knocked down at the 27-yard line by Male. That's where they'll go to work.
It looked like number 33 on the tackle, Darrell Williams, in on the tackle for Male there. And you're right, Gary, that was a solid lick, but a pretty good return by Gardner.
Yeah, Gardner returned it up. They mark it at the 27-yard line. That's where Manual will go to work. The quarterback will be Ian Woldridge. The fullback is going to be Marcus Helm. And then the running back, of course, DeMontre Ward. They line up in that power eye set, and they break huddle. And it looks like they have Helm back there. They're going to send twin receivers out to the left. Quarterback Woldridge, first down at the 10. Movement, and might be a flag. He might have drawn them offside there, Buzz.
Very possibly. I saw some Male players jump, but I don't know if they were drawn off or not. I want to mention this is a unique look, seeing Marcus Helm at the tailback position where DeMontre Ward has been all season for the Crimsons.
Yeah, and carries it. That penalty, we'll take a look at that, Buzz. Got to look at that. Yeah, I think it was the inflection by Woldridge who got him.
And he did that against Butler last week a couple times late in the game.
So Twins out to the top, and your right Helm is the lone setback. Receiver to the bottom. Woldridge is going to roll out and pass. He sets up, throws, and it's dropped at the 40-yard line, intended for Darnell Gardner up there, it looked like, on the far side.
Yeah, had an opportunity. Gardner got his hands on the football but couldn't pull it in, and that was first down yardage over there, so it's going to be 2nd and 5 for the Crimsons.
Yeah, that penalty made it a 1st and 5, so a good situation there to roll out and throw the football.
Sure. And you've got a team that does run the ball a lot, but they can throw it as well.
Woldridge, an outstanding student as well at DuPont Manual. As we said, he better be with your dad, the principal. Yeah. You better be a pretty good student. Or at that dinner table, there's going to be some interesting conversations.
Certainly don't want any trips to detention.
And, we are still yet to see DeMontre Ward in there. You still got Helm in there. And they slide right. They give it to Helm. Helm up to the 35, short of the first down by a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and 2. And a couple of players in there for Male making the nice stop. It was Solomon Logan, the linebacker, in there. And I tell you, we're going to call his name a lot tonight. Here's your defense for the Male Bulldogs. Darren Dukes and Jerry Longer, your defensive ends. Jason Beto and Shane Simmons, a down lineman. Solomon Logan just made that last play, a linebacker. Eric Palmer, a linebacker. Jelon Kemp. It'll be Walter Moffitt, along with Mitchell Nelson on the corner safeties, Jermaine Bibb and Clay Kesserson. They really like this Bibb kid. 3rd and short. 3rd and about 2 at the 35. Still yet to see War. Hope nothing is with him as far as physically. And Woldridge might have drawn him off again. He looks to pass, throws it, and it's almost intercepted up at the 45 and incomplete. And Male thought they had that one picked off.
Yeah, they jumped that route pretty well and had a good shot at getting that interception. Looked like it was number 38 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Jermaine Bibb, the young man they like. But I tell you what, I saw some movement, and if we could take a look at that last play again, it looked like there was some movement before that play. Woldridge might have been able to draw him offside again, but here we're going to look at that again. Did you see what I'm saying?
I see the movement there, and it looks like he might have broken the plane, but the officials didn't throw a flag.
So we're going to see the punt now coming from the young man who's an absolutely outstanding punter. That's Duncan Pope, and Coach Lucas says he's the best one in the state.
He's right up there.
Here's the punt by Pope, low punt. It's going to bounce at the 30 and bobbled around and pounced on it at the 21-yard line. A good job by the return man to pounce back on it there. That was Jermaine Bibb, and he was able to pounce back on that football there. Actually, that's going to be the one of the star running backs, Rajay Morse, they had back there. Not Bibb. Usually Bibb is back, but this time they put Morse. There you see him taking a look at it there. He was able to pounce back on it.
Good quick reaction after that ball hit off his shoulder pads. And Mail's going to be in business first down here.
So now we see the Mail offense. The official said we're going to see him right off the bat, but no, it was Emmanuel who received the ball. Quarterback will be Adams. He shifts his offense to the right side. Now he's got motion by Morse, and he gives it to Giddens. Giddens hit, knocked backwards, still gets his feet going, though. Boy, a lot of Manual defenders there playing that swarmy defense, Buzz, and boy, there were a number of them in there, and I tell you, Ulinski was right in the middle of that.
Ulinski and Ledford both. The linebackers leading the charge there, and that's certainly – linebackers on both teams are going to have to be active tonight, Gary, and we've already seen that.
Buzz, as soon as Giddens got that football, Ulinski and Ledford were right there. You see no gain, 2nd and 10. That's going to take that kind of defense all night, man.
They're going to have to swarm to the football and be patient, because with this offense –
handoff left side. They pulled it for a couple of yards, and that's about it. Let's see, they're going to give him the 25. So he kept the legs going, and that was the outstanding fullback, Troy Denning, the ball carrier that time. First time he's carried it, and they're happy to have him back healthy.
They are. Casey Barnes pinched down from his defensive end position to make that tackle,
right.
but Giddens certainly a weapon that they haven't had all season, and they're glad to have him back.
So 3rd down and 6 on that run by Troy Denning, the senior running back. He picked up 4. 3rd and 6 now at the 25-yard line for Mail. Now the quarterback, Adams, shifts the tight end to the right side. He's got slot out to left, motion to the near side, 3rd down. And here's Adams rolling left, fires, and it is going to be incomplete. And it would have been short of the first down anyway. Good defense by Hafler, the safety. I tell you, I don't think they would have had the first down anyway. Hafler was ready to lower the boom 2 yards short of the first down mark.
Yeah, he made a good break on the football and came crashing in, and the pass was about a step overthrown.
Look at this play, Buzz. I mean, the quarterback threw a pretty good ball out there, but Hafler made a great defensive play.
And Hafler just read that play all the way coming out of the backfield and closed very quickly.
Gardner and Miner back deep to receive this punt. So
actually, I think Helm is one of the guys that's back.
Yeah, they moved Helms back there, and here's Jonathan Morrell to punt for Mail. Here's the punt. It's a good punt, high punt. Fair catch called. Bobble fumbled. It's a free football. I think Manuel's going to get back on it inside the 30. Did they get back on it? It's a scramble for it, but I think Manuel hustled and got back on the football.
They're still tugging after it. Marcus Helm he was not the one who fumbled the ball. I believe that was number 5, Brian Hobbs. The 5s and the 6s look very much alike on Manuel's uniform. But Marcus Helm scrambled and got on the ball. Good alert play to keep the football in the Crimson's favor. So the punting game is a little bit risky for the receiving team tonight.
And on that first offensive series, surprise, 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 as Gomer Powell used to say, we did not see DeMontre War at all.
No.
What's up?
I don't know. I haven't heard of any injuries or anything like that, but that's certainly something to keep a watch on.
Yeah, maybe Christy Thomas, our sideline reporter down there, maybe Christy can find out what's going on with
he's out there now.
DeMontre War, so it looks like War's going to be out there now. And we had a penalty apparently on that, and the officials are going to make them punt it again, I believe, because it's going to be against Mail, so that'll move them back even further. And so Christy, let's go down to Christy. I think it's just a matter of time, Christy, before we see DeMontre War.
Well, everything seems to be okay. The last I'm hearing is that he actually was on the training table right as they had kicked off. So he was having an ankle taped. It seemed to be okay. He was running up and down the sidelines and was all right. So it doesn't appear that he seems to be too terribly injured. But, yeah, I think it's just a matter of time. He did run out there. Now he's back. So we'll see.
Thank you very much, Christy, down on the field. It is Hobbs back deep. He's to the far side. To the near side is Marcus Helm. And you're right, I don't think it was Helm who fumbled that. No. Of course, it didn't matter anyway with the penalty. Now a little bit further back, Morrell will punt. This one's shorter punch over the right side, and it will roll at the 45. And let's see where Mail touches it down. I tell you what, Manuel's going to have the football in Mail territory. The nose of the football is going to be in Mail territory.
That was a very costly penalty for the Bulldogs. That cost them really about 20 yards in field position, and you cannot have the mistakes like that in a game of this magnitude.
So DeMontre War is back in there now. Apparently that nose of the football right into Mail territory going as we look down. The Mail Bulldogs just underway here tonight on the Great American Rivalry Series. Manuel and Mail. Gary Ball with Buzz Frank and Christy Thomas, our sideline reporter. Let's see what the Manual football team does on this series. They do have War in the backfield. And they give it to the running back. He's right side, cuts it back, pulled down from behind. And what a great tackle there.
That was Solomon Logan.
That was Logan making that play up there. Also, Long 54 got over 54. There. And, boy, that handoff went over the right side. And Male was after War the entire. I mean, they were looking for him the entire way. I mean, it's like they knew the play.
Yeah, they certainly are going to key on him tonight, and rightfully so because of the yardage that he's piled up. And they had good penetration from the backside, actually.
Yep.
As Long came all the way around from the right defensive side to make that tackle on his left defensive side.
You know, that early series, the quarterback Wooldridge found something on the left side to Gardner open, and Gardner just dropped the football. Let's see if they may go back to that. And Wooldridge, a quick pass near side. He's got his man, and he is down to the 45-yard line, only about a 4-yard pickup. It'll be third and about 5. It's caught by Quintez Sutton, the 6'2 junior, came in with 22 catches. There's his 23rd, 351 yards receiving coming in.
Sutton, an excellent receiver, got good hands, can get down the field. He's got good speed as well. That time just a little look back at the quarterback and got a block almost like a wide receiver screen, and he took it down the field but didn't get as much as the Crimsons would have liked.
We thought that'd be a pass, though, didn't we?
We did.
As you see Sutton splitting out there to the top. 3rd and 5 at the 45 for Manual. They're a quarterback, and we're going to have official blowing the play dead. Timeout called, I believe, and I think Manual's coach Dr. Lucas called that one, Dr. Oliver Lucas. Yeah, it was called by Dr. Oliver Lucas, and you know, I've known Dr. Lucas for a while, and he does like you to call him Dr. Oliver Lucas.
He does.
And you know that as well as I do.
I know that as well. And I think there was a little bit of confusion in the Manual backfield, Gary. It looked like that Marcus Helm lined up at tailback, and Demontre War was there as well, and then War sprinted for the sideline, so I don't know if there was a personnel issue or just Dr. Lucas wanted to get their attention.
Christy, we got a timeout. Christy Thomas down on the sidelines, and Christy, you probably get a real good feel down there what the magnitude of this game is. What a crowd we got here tonight.
Oh, fantastic crowd. I don't know if you guys can see the Manual student section, but every single person that's over there is on their feet. Not to mention the fact that there are several classes here that are having a reunion, and hopefully we'll be able to get a couple of interviews and you'll be able to hear from some of them. Class of 65, 70, and 75 Manual classes are all here and in attendance. And, of course, all those years ago they were playing in this game, and it still means a lot.
Still means a lot. Thank you, Christy, down on the field. 3rd down and 5 for Manual. Let's see if they can pick up a key first down here. Neither team's been able to do that so far here in the first quarter. Motion near side, and lone back is Helm. Here's a quick toss left side, throwing it up in the air, and it's going to be, is it caught? What a catch at the 23-yard line. It's caught, pulled in by Sutton, the 6'2 junior. What a great catch on the fade pattern.
And that was a really well-thrown ball by Ian Wooldridge, too. He put it over his inside shoulder, and what a great catch, though, by Sutton as he came down and kept that 1 foot in bounds.
That's worth a look-see.
There's Wooldridge. You can see he put a lot of air underneath it and let his tall 6'2 receiver go up and get it.
Pretty good coverage by Mitchell Nelson, but just a better catch by Quintez Sutton, a great receiver there for Manual. And it's first down, the first down of the game tonight for either football team. And Manual on a great pass from Wooldridge, and they pick it up down to the 23-yard line. And Wooldridge now, he has Helm in the backfield. And he is going to fake it to him. Wooldridge getting pressure, and he's going to be sacked back at the 28-yard line.
That was Long again, number 54 for the Bulldogs. Jerry Long coming in from his right defensive end position, and I don't think he was blocked there.
That's his 8th sack of the season. Speaking of Jerry Long, 13 tackles for loss, and look at this young man get after the quarterback, choose him up.
Just great closing speed, too, from a defensive lineman like that as he caught Wooldridge from behind, and there was no chance for Ian Wooldridge.
Now we know why Coach Wolf told us that every time the team's preparing for us, they're trying to figure out what to do with 54. Well, now we know what they didn't do with 54.
We certainly understand, and they didn't block him that play.
2nd down and 14 now for Wooldridge. He threw the great pass to Sutton on that big down earlier to get the first down. Let's see what he does here with 6:50, no score. He gives now to Helm. Helm, he's into the secondary. Helm all the way down inside the 20. Would it be 3rd and short? Nice run by Helm down the middle. And there you see the Marcus Helm, the senior running back, and Buzz, 190 pounds for the young man.
And one of the things that Marcus Helm has, Manual has a pretty tall offensive line, and Marcus Helm has a way of getting low and hiding behind his big lineman, and he did that time. And it's harder for the male tacklers to see.
Sounds like a good plan to me. Get behind those big hogs and see what you can do. 3rd down and 4. There's a good look at Helm on the sidelines there, talking to the coaching staff over there. 3rd down and 4 at the 18-yard line of Manual. Manual on the drive. Wooldridge with the power eye. He's got War back there at the eye back. He spins. War's got it. War breaks, dives down. He broke the tackle, but he's tripped up on a great play.
Solomon Logan was
Logan.
in there and got him by the ankles and tripped him up, and just did a really nice job coming in on kind of a run blitz there.
Yeah, and because of that play by Solomon Logan, they're about 2 yards shy of that first down. That's a great play by Logan. Or Demontre War has the first down by a couple of yards.
Easily.
And Logan, the number one tackler on this team, coming in 6'2", 205. And that's even talking with Jerry Long, who just picked up his 8th sack here tonight.
Both of those are very active players on the defensive side of the ball, Gary.
Of course, where the football is, Buzz, inside the 15. It's 4-down territory. Here's a handoff to Demontre War. He's got the first down as he takes it down to about the 11-yard line. First down, Manual.
Yeah, Manual came up and snapped it more quickly than they have, and Jermaine Bibb actually saved a touchdown with that tackle on that play. But Ward just burst through a hole, and good surge that time by the Manual offensive line.
First down, they can get it at the 1. They can get another first down. It's 1st and 10 outside the 11-yard line. Boy, I tell you, I really see now the balance of Demontre War. He's got great balance.
And he's got good breakaway speed when he gets in the open as well.
Got to watch Gardner here. He is split out to the bottom. Will they put Sutton? He's been dangerous. Sutton, and both Sutton and Gardner are to the bottom. Wooldridge fakes. He wants to pass. Wooldridge looking left, throws it. It's caught by the big tight end, Zuberer, and he takes it down inside the 5. And, boy, I tell you, Grayson Zuberer, the 210-pound, 6'4" junior, he went down low. I want to see that again because I know our great crack staff will show us. Look at this catch by Zuberer.
He's all the way down around his knees as he catches it in, looked the ball all the way into his hands, and then turned his shoulders upfield to go toward the goal line. And you mentioned Ian Woolridge being the principal's son. He happens to be the athletic director's son. So there's some
nothing
got to perform.
Nothing wrong with that. 2nd down and 3. Wooldridge. He's got Helm in front of War in the backfield. He tosses to War, left side. War dances, dives down inside. Football comes out late, and I think the officials are going to blow it down on contact. They're going to say Male thought they had the football. It did come out of there late, and Christy Thomas is right down there. And Christy, that ball did come out of there, but the officials are going to say that War was down. Yeah, they're going to say he was down. So it'll be 3rd down and 3. And they can get a first down, Buzz, if they get down to about the inside the 2-yard line.
So this is really at least 4-down territory.
How big, too, would it be for Manual to score first in this big rivalry?
We talked about that in the pregame, how they had to control the ball and not let Mail get ahead early.
3 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the scoreless first quarter, but Manual's trying to strike first. Wooldridge gives now to Demontre War. War into the secondary, touchdown! Demontre War, that's his 15th touchdown of the season, rushing. And when he broke into the secondary off the right side, what blocking over there on the right side of that offensive line.
Yeah, you can start at the center, Tim Haag, and then go just to the right, Alex Mulhall and Josh Stearns. Josh Stearns, who had a visit to Michigan just a couple weeks ago. And they certainly just sealed everybody off from the Bulldog defense, and War went in untouched.
Touchdown, his 15th of the season for Demontre. And here's the extra point now coming for Manual. And the kick is up, and it is good by Dunn. And that makes it 7-0 Manual with 3:23 to go, and Manual strikes first. We'll be back on the Great American Rivalry Series, presented by iHigh.com after this. And the Great American Rivalry Series Game of the Week live broadcast is powered by iHigh.com. America's largest high school network. Is your school powered by iHigh? Gary Ball with Buzz Frank, Christy Thomas on the sidelines, and Manual strikes first, Buzz.
Yeah, just an excellent drive that time by the Crimsons. They took advantage of good field position after Mail was penalized on their first punt. and Manual took it right down the field and put it in the end zone, and that's huge in a rivalry game like this, Greg.
And you have some dangerous return men back there for Mayo, Morris and Giddings, to receive this kick here coming by Dunn, who just kicked the extra point. Here's a low kick. It hits a Mayo player. That's a free football. It's all over the field. Who's got it? It's a scramble for it at the 37. Manual says they've got it. Let's see if the officials agree with them. It'll be whoever can pull that out of there at the bottom of that pile. And Buzz, I'm sure you've been in the bottom of those piles a few times.
Yeah, there's a lot more going on than just reaching for the football. And it looks like the Bulldogs came up with it.
Mayo's got it. Boy, I tell you, they pulled that out of there at the 37, 38-yard line, and I tell you, that was a good kick there. But it went off a Mayo up man. Was get a good look at it there again, Buzz. Tell us what happened. See, it hit the up man.
It hit the up man, and it was on the ground, and a Manual player dove in, but he couldn't quite corral the ball, and then in the pile, Mayo came out with it.
Well, the Manual Crimson have struck first on a Demontre Wire TD run. It's 7-0, and let's see what Mayo can do here to answer that Manual score. They start at the 37, and the flag will blow that play dead as they were going to give it to Morris around the left side, Ron J. Morris, and the official blows it dead. Did somebody get a timeout? Somebody got a timeout before the play. As a matter of fact, Mayo got the timeout before they ran the play.
That's
How about
amazing
that?
Because they came up to the ball and snapped it very quickly like they just wanted to go, and then they called a timeout in the meantime. So that had to be a quick timeout to call.
7-0, 3:17 to go in the first quarter here at packed great crowd here. What a crowd from the Manual fans along the way. And then, of course, Mayo has packed it in here on the near side below the press box here. And a beautiful night for high school football. And so far, an outstanding high school football game that Manual leads 7-0.
Yes, they have. Both teams are out there hitting hard, just like you'd expect in a rivalry game like this. And they're rocking here with the music playing in the stadium. This is a great Friday night.
You know, I tell you, I've been impressed with Woldridge, a quarterback for Manual. Really impressed with his pocket presence. He, as you mentioned on that pass to Sutton, throw a beautiful ball down there to Sutton. And I'm impressed with the receiving core. And you mentioned that they can catch the ball in the backfield to the running backs for Manual.
They can. And Manual's receivers are tall, and that may be an advantage against the Mayo defense. But Mayo's speed is definitely going to come to play here as they come out on offense.
Adams, the junior quarterback, gives right side Giddings. Giddings cuts it up, hit in the backfield, and dropped on a big...
Who we talked about in the pregame blitzed from his linebacker position and actually was right in Barber's face, and he couldn't get the ball away quick enough, or couldn't find his receiver quick enough.
And the only reason this quarter hasn't ended, that was an incomplete pass to stop the clock with 6 seconds. Otherwise, we'd be into the second quarter already. 7-0. Gary Ball, Buzz Frank, Christy Thomas, our sideline reporter. And here's motion. Barber flips around the left side now to Morris. Morris at 30. Little scat back 35. Dances up short of the first down, though. He does not have the first down. As Manual runs him out of bounds short of that first down. It was Trent Hafler helping out over there with and Drain as well. DeQueen Drain as well, the senior over there, but it was Hafler, number 9, who hustled over there and made sure that Morris didn't pick up that first down.
He came down, and actually Morris was the victim of a poor pitch that time.
Yes,
he had to turn around and make an athletic play to get it. That play could have gone a lot further.
First quarter comes to a close here on the Great American Rivalry Series Game of the Week live broadcast powered by IHI, America's largest high school network. Is your school powered by IHI? We'll be back with the second quarter. Manual on top of Mayo, 7-0.
A person or thing that is in position to dispute another's preeminence or superiority. Assume the position. 48 classic matchups nationwide. The biggest moments under the brightest lights. Hardcore great American football the way it was meant to be. In the stands and on the fields. Be a part of the action when the greatest show in high school sports comes to a town near you. The Great American Rivalry Series. From IHI, who's your rival?
Gary Ball with Buzz Frank back. Christy Thomas down on the field. And Christy, the fans really get into this football game now. Let's go down to Christy.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Standing room only on the Manual side as I'm looking across the field at the Mayo side, starting to fill in as we speak. I heard there was a little bit of a traffic jam on the Watterson trying to get in here, but off to the left, there are a lot of fans that are out there. And actually, I'm just finding out from the sidelines that some interesting things going on for the offense of Manual. Jordan Johnson, who was their offensive coordinator, was actually let go earlier this week. So a lot of changes now as Dr. Lucas is the one calling the plays. But, kind of an interesting take to make a coaching change this late in the season. But their offensive coordinator, I think Monday of this week, was actually let go.
It's 4th and short, and let's see what Mayo does here. We may see a quick pooch punt here because, where they are, Buzz, I don't think you try for it here, do you? 4th down, they're going to punt it. And waiting for the punt. Here's the rail punt. And It's going to bounce and take a good roll and roll down near the 22-yard line there for Mail. So good Mail roll. And
very nice punt that time. And Manual was like you, Gary. They weren't buying. The Mail was going to punt. They had their regular defense in.
Yeah.
And that's why Hafler was back deep instead of their normal receivers, Helm and Hobbs.
Buzz Christie told us, a new offensive coordinator, but I tell you what, they're leading 7-0. They didn't miss a beat in that first quarter, and their defense has been outstanding, led by Ulinski.
Well, Coach Lucas is going to be calling the plays, it sounds like, and so he's got some experience in that.
And I really like this Jerry Long kid, the defensive end for Mail. How can you not like 54? He's got a fumble recovery. He's got a sack, his 8th sack of the season for Mail. He is a force in there. You got to watch him. Looks like he might be lined up offside this time, but maybe not. Here's a quick pass over the far side to Gardner, and he's up to the 32-yard line. Finally knocked down over there by Logan. Solomon Logan got him, but they go to Darnell Gardner. He wore 25 all season, got his jersey shredded to pieces. He's wearing 16 now, and I tell you what, he had a couple nice catches tonight.
He has, and he's a converted running back too, Gary, so he knows what to do after he catches the football.
That yak, they call it. Yards after catch.
Yards after catch.
He's a good yak man. Second down and short is Mr. Gardner to go along with a lot of other things at DuPont Manual. Great academic institution. There's a good look at Ian Wooldridge, a fine quarterback. As we said, the son of the principal, Larry, here at Manual. Second down and short. They only need about 1.5 yards with 11:05. They're up 7-0. Wooldridge gives now the second man through, and he is hit. What a hit there by the defense on that give to War. And making that play, who else? Jerry Long, the 6'1". You know, Christy Thomas and I were talking about this coming down. He's only 195 pounds.
Yeah.
But teams have no answer for him.
They have no answer for him. And I think Solomon Logan was in on that play, actually lost his helmet as he was helping throw War down to the ground. And he's a tackling machine, too. Those two guys are just outstanding defensive football players.
Third down and about 1 yard for Manual. They've got to get 1.5 yards here. Let's see what they do. And they've got DeMontre War lined up deep in the backfield for Wooldridge. And we're going to have time called by the officials. And I think Mail's Coach Wolf is going to get a timeout with 10:27 to go. It's 7-0 Manual leading here on the Great American Rivalry Series here on iHigh.com. And big weekend of high school football. Tonight it's the oldest rivalry in the state, as Christy told us, the oldest rivalry in the country. West of the Allegheny is this football game. Tomorrow, Canton, McKinley, and Massillon up in Ohio. 19,000 folks will kind of be there for that football game at their Paul Brown Drive. That's where Paul Brown, the legendary coach, got his start at Massillon. He tells everybody, even when he coached the Bengals, he said the best coaching job he ever had was when he coached at Massillon High School.
Certainly a storied program up in Ohio, a state, as we said earlier, known for football.
Absolutely, known for a lot of things. The Great American Rivalry Series Game of the Week live broadcast is powered by iHigh.com. America's largest high school network. Is your school powered by iHigh? I think we read that a little while ago, but we'll read it again. 7-0 here, 10:27 here. Third down, Gary Ball with Buzz Frank here on the Great American Rivalry Series. Christy Thomas on the sidelines. The book, Christy does a great job of bringing that sideline report to you, doesn't she?
And finding out about the offensive coordinator was something important.
At halftime, Christy will grab the winning coach as he heads off the field here. If it's Chris Wolf, he played for her dad at Campbellsville.
That's right.
If they're leading, Chris Wolf and Mail, they're down right now. Here's a toss around the left side, and here's a flag down on the play by Logan on War, the ball carrier, but a penalty marker comes down. He did not get the first down, but there's a flag down.
Good penetration by Logan again as he came up and made that tackle, and that's one of those plays when you only need 1 yard or two, you really want your running back to just kind of lower his head and go forward.
Holding called against Manual. And let's see what Mail does here, because they did not get the first down. So if you take the penalty, you see the toss there to War, and what a play there by Logan, the linebacker, tripped him up.
Yeah, and you can see War kind of juking instead of just trying to drive forward. Obviously, well, it is going to be, they're going to take the penalty instead of going for fourth down.
Yeah, and that'll give the Manual team another player, but it'd be third and long, and this would be a good situation to maybe go back for Wooldridge to go back to Gardner or Sutton, or maybe even the tight end Zuber, who has a nice catch in this game.
They've all been successful, and they are tall receivers against male shorter defensive backs.
Yeah, 6'2" is Sutton, Zuber is 6'4", the tight end, and Gardner's 6 foot, so you're right, they're much bigger. Third down and 12 now, as they took the penalty. I thought they'd go ahead and make them punt. But third and 12, 10:05 to go, 7-0. Out of the shotgun this time now, Wooldridge. Wooldridge looking, now throws, and it's behind his receiver, incomplete at the 30-yard line. He was looking down there for Darnell Gardner, and it would have been short of the first down, so Wooldridge threw it behind him. That will force a punt now for Manual, and they'll be backed up even deeper, so probably a good call there by Mayo.
Good call on the penalty, and really you wonder, with it only about a yard and a half short, maybe Mayo was concerned that Manual might even try to go for the first down, so good call on the penalty there, and it's going to bring up fourth down and Duncan Pope back for the Crimsons.
Yeah, Pope, the great punter, but you got to watch Ron J. Morris. He's back there deep. He can take it to the house, and he's back deep. Here's the Pope punt. Good punt. It drives Morris back to about the 32. He catches it. Morris coming near side. Gets a block. What a block at the 38. He's on his feet, 40, and slammed out at the 40, but what a block thrown by
Jerry Long.
He's everywhere. My goodness, that's as good as it gets.
That's a highlight reel thing right there. Just an incredible block. He flipped a Crimson player upside down. And here it comes again. You'll watch as Morris comes over. Hopefully we'll get to see. Look at that block. That is just an incredible block.
Oh my goodness. He just unloaded on him, didn't he?
It's it almost made the rest of the play just an afterthought.
Yeah, it was with me. I kind of lost my train of thought after I saw that block. I said, oh my goodness, I'm supposed to call the play here, but
that's football.
Yeah, that's football. So Mayo will start at good territory, field position, 41-yard line. And Barber's back in at quarterback. Laurentez gives right side. I believe that was Giddings, the second back through. And that was John Giddens. He came into this game 97 carries for nearly 700 yards and 4 touchdowns. But Ron J. Morris, 102 carries, almost 1,000 yards.
Almost 1,000 yards. Two strong weapons in the backfield, both with a lot of speed. And Manual swarming defense is going to have to take over.
Manual been busy tonight.
They have.